And we're live on the TARDIS Zone on this Wednesday evening.
You're going to start first and give us a bit of a warm up. Give me a lead in.
Yeah, we might as well just go straight in. So as you can see,
I feel
welcome.
connected into reality. Wow.
Yeah, just straight in. Why not?
We don't wait around. We're not into foreplay. Clearly, no. Just straight in there.
Straight in tonight. So, interesting day for you, Rabbi. Anyway,
interesting day for me. In which way? Well, how was it interesting?
YouTube.
Well, what?
YouTube.
Oh, I had he's famous, right? Mr. TARDIS Reviews is famous, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he likes to think he's famous, yeah.
Sorry, he's famous. So he commented on one of my videos, and he thought he had like this mic drop moment, right? It was really like, wait. It was basically I said in the video, listen, I understand there are racists out there. I don't know racists personally. So he was very confused by this. He says, what are there? Are there racists? Are they not racist? And he just couldn't understand how the two things can coexist. And I was like, I explained it like, I explained it like if one of my kids, if they were young, if like a 3-year-old, I have to explain that very subtle nuance. So yeah, there are these people, and I don't know, and I don't know anybody like that, but I've still heard about them. You know, it's like. So I explained to him again. Still didn't get it, and he started to melt down a bit as well. Are you ready? Did you see the comment?
Yeah, I
it just went on for like 6 like it went on and on, and furthermore, and I'm like the amount of work he put into it. Bless him. Yeah. Oh my, yeah. So then I was like, I could see. It's really kind of transparent, like, look, I've said this a lot of time. The age gap you have between people of age doesn't really change, which means, if you're 25 and you know a 5-year-old, that level of maturity, of life experience of 20 years doesn't change. So when you're 35 and you meet like a 15-year-old, that it's the same thing, you still have that level of life experience, on top of that, it just doesn't change. And so, if he's half my age, it's really clear. Okay, basically what's going on with him, I think, is he's really, it's really sad. I think he's lacked a masculine parental figure in his life. I think he's really desperate for that. He's really, and he doesn't, so he hasn't had any like, that is life. He didn't to give him like any direction or to tell him no or to say yes or to love him, right? To love it. It's really sad. He hasn't had that masculine fatherly love, right? And that's why he's such a dick. But he's so sad. I felt bad for him. So I was like, I gave him advice. I says, listen, this is what you need to do. And this is what he really needs to do. And I wish him the best. I genuinely wish him the best. Because he looked like a sweet enough kid. I saw him on his Twitter profile. I was like, okay. Go and volunteer your time somewhere. Do something altruistic and make sure nobody knows about it. Do it and make sure don't take any part in it for you and make it all about somebody else. And just do that once a week, once a month. I don't know, once a week. Or you should do it once a day. And do that. And then you won't feel like such a shitbag, which is clearly how you feel. You'll feel like a good person because you'll be becoming a good person. But you have to be altruistic. You have to do it that's why having children is a good thing, because it forces. Because if you live in the world of justice with children, you would kill them by the time they're 4, several times over. You got to say no. You got to be altruistic. So that's why experience of having children, having teenagers, and having grandchildren just gives you more knowledge on how to deal with like what life is. So without that life experience, it's like but he just needs to. If he needs to give altruistically, which is what they all need to do. Which is they're craving for like just masculine direction. Like they need a guy just tell them what to do.
Oh, here goes the alarm. Right, I have to. So Rabbi is just going to keep talking. I'll tell you what to do, Rabbi. Just do me a favor. Just scroll down through the chat and give everybody.
Let's say hello to everybody. Let's see who we got here tonight. Yeah. We have Charlotte Shields. Good evening. How are you? Garbage. How are you? The Nerds Archive 96. I haven't seen you before. How are you, the Nerds Archive 96? Where are the other 95 of you? Is there a 97? And is there numbers more than 97? Fine. Okay, we're saying hello, Colin B. Smith. Good evening. How are you? Sadako, 24. Good evening, Sadako, 24. I think because there was a very funny Saturday Night Live sketch once where all the cartoon characters from like the Sunday papers, Garfield, they're all meeting because all the Sunday papers are about to close because nobody reads papers anymore. And then a mysterious Chinese, Oriental kind of guy comes in and says, "I will save you. My name is Sadako." So I always, whenever I see your screen name, I always think of that. Kelvin, how are you? Good evening. Derek McManus, I think I said, Daniel Derek, how are you? Mr. Hyde's podcast, how are you? Does Dr. Jekyll have a podcast as well? I wonder why was Dr. Jekyll a doctor, but the doctorate didn't go over to Mr. Hyde? Mr. Hyde's like, nah, I didn't work for it. It's all Jekyll's, mate. I'm not. No, that he gets the doctorate, not me. And then Ed Parnell, good evening, how are you? And John Steed, you are needed. You're always needed. Problem being, good evening, how are you? And curious, you're a curious. I wonder what it is. Yeah. So again, if you live on Twitter, you get desensitized. You get to think that's what life is. Twitter's not a good place. Twitter's a bad place. Twitter's a place that makes you into a crazy person. You should stay off Twitter, okay? And having like I don't know, if any of those weirdos come to me on Twitter, I think I'm just gonna have a JPEG answer of like what I think. I just saw Mr. Hyde podcast saying she's a warm one here in Canada. Okay, I don't know what's going on in Canada, but steady. Oh, you're back. How you doing though?
That's the weekend film. Yeah, I'm back. Are you still doing the shout outs there, Pat?
Yeah, I said hello to everybody tonight. All right. I hope. I don't think I missed anyone.
Right. Brilliant. Right. Fantastic. Right, guys. So obviously you've been watching the channel over the last couple of days, and we've thrown up a teaser. So the plan was we were going to have a little trailer, but Rabbi has been very busy because he's had other stuff to actually do. So basically, we might as well announce who's going to be on Sunday. So Sunday we've got obviously Rabbi, myself, Ballstreck, and then we've got Robert Meyer Burnett. Now,
Big Robert Meyer Burnett, RBM, coming to the TARDIS Zone.
Coming to the TARDIS Zone. So he's pretty big. He's a pretty big critic, if that's the right word to use, of Star Trek, everything Star Trek. So yeah,
he's a writer as well. He knows he understands the mechanics of writing.
Yeah,
and so he's able to dissect things very clearly. But also he's like part of the industry, which he has so much legitimacy. He's not like a guy screaming into his camera from a basement.
Another thing, just to let you know, just in case it doesn't happen, unfortunately, a series of unfortunate events. I know that's a movie. I just always wanted to say that line in a sentence, and I finally did. Az has obviously had a problem with leaks on from his roof. He obviously has people in at the moment repairing it. Now, he hasn't said that he's not going to make the stream for Thursday, but he has made me aware that there might be a possibility that I mightn't go ahead due to the fact that there is a big bloody leak in his ceiling. Now, what I like about the fact is that, and I even said it to him, the fact that he's actually came back to me and actually told me that instead of not replying back, which seems to have happened a lot lately with me. I don't know why, but some YouTubers out there just, they don't, if you're going to agree to come on, you know what I mean? I don't mind if there's as soon as he told me, I said, "Listen, no worries about it, and we can reschedule if you're listening now. We can reschedule for a different time. There's no big deal." But the fact that he came to tell me, that's what I respect. Like
That's the thing.
he's a nice guy. That's what I mean, nice guy. So I mean, thanks for telling me. And listen, whenever you can come on, listen, we know we're gonna have a laugh anyway. So whenever you can, if it is this Thursday, oh great. If it's not, we'll reorganize. But yeah, so that's what's going on. So we've gotten a few guests. Bounding into comics, bounding into the comics is another guest that was bringing on. We just have to. He was supposed to be coming on. He was supposed to be on, but he didn't see me message. But he did text me to rearrange, so I'll have them on as well. As I said, I just went out and I asked a shitload of people. Some have had the decency to come back to me. Some haven't. And the reason why the others haven't is because they're so far up their own arses that they believe that the smaller YouTubers like me shouldn't get the help. No, I'm going to be out straight about it. Some of the bigger YouTubers out there are arrogant pieces of shit. And you really need to know where you came from originally. Remember, you were a struggling channel just like mine before everything blew up and you became big. You should remember your roots, and when someone reaches out to you like a smaller YouTuber like me, you know, even if you don't want to appear because you have your own set of rules or whatever, but it'd be nice to actually hear back to say, listen, not thanks for the offer, but no thanks. You know, all it takes is a line of communication, and it actually is pissing me off, right? All it takes is listen, send me an email, send me a message, I read it straight away, I read it, right? I don't leave things festering around. All right.
But I got smaller channel than you, and I'm overwhelmed with communication. I mean, like, I really am. Listen. I love everybody commenting. I do. I really genuinely love it, but it takes time. It takes work. You know, so I can understand. You know,
no. Listen. I could give an example on this channel, but if I did, then problem being would know who I'm talking about, and some other people know who I'm talking about. But if you're going to constantly tell someone that you're bringing them on their channel, right, and then there's no communication, right, and then you come back to them, then you give them another excuse, and then another excuse, and then another excuse, then I start to question that person's sincerity, right? And I'm sorry. Right, I work hard on this channel. You know, it would be nice. Like your channel, it's always nice when a bigger YouTuber recognizes the work that you do. Yeah. And you know, right now I do feel that, and I'm going to be out straight that I'm underappreciated on this bleeding platform. Right, I keep getting invites, but nobody ever pulls through on them. Now I will make one thing clear, that there is a few YouTubers out there that have actually come back to me. Like Gary, for instance, like as I said, Yaz, for instance, came back to me and let me know the reasons why a stream is not happening, or why it's going to be delayed, or for a different time. But there's others out there that I have asked that haven't bothered their arse to even get in contact after initially making contact with me. And that's, I don't have time for people like that. So, you know, I hear it. I would just remember where you came from. You were a small YouTube channel like us at one stage. You know, when a smaller YouTuber reaches out, that's why I'll do that. If a YouTuber, it's like you, Rabbi, you know, you said you had someone that you knew, bring him on. I brought him on. Why did I bring him on? To give the guy some airtime, bit of promotion.
Yeah, say with me. You booked me on. My channel was very small when you booked me on. I had what, 200 subs? Maybe, I can't remember. 100%.
No, you had about
I don't remember. When you put me on when I was a smaller channel, and listen, I'm so glad you did. It worked out well. You know, let me get on. But like, I was a much smaller channel than you when you put me on.
I know it's as. I know I keep saying Yaz. It's the thing that's stuck in me head. It's as. I know it's as. I have to get that into me head.
By the way, did you see her tweet, man?
No, what's she rolling about now?
Guys, she is so a member of this generation. She tweeted, "What are racists so scared of? So I want to know, there are no racists. It's all in your head. They're all in this is.
Well, yeah, here's something I actually wanted to bring up. So, obviously, the Express. Now, I want to say something.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about that.
Last night, right? Now, the headline of the video I wrote up. You seen it, and I wrote strange article, right? I told people it was a strange article in the oh, it's clickbait. Why are you putting up stuff if you're not going to research and know when Stephen Moffat actually left the show? Well, obviously you didn't do research, or obviously you didn't open your fucking eyes, because if you had actually read the title of the fucking video, you would have seen that I said it was a strange fucking article. Okay? I know Stephen Moffat fucking left Doctor Who. I'm not fucking. I know more about the fucking show than the fucking person that wrote the fucking article in the first fucking place.
Yeah, right? You weren't about that. But no, surely the story with that is you had a half-assed reporter who didn't know who heard. Oh wait a minute, the showrunner Doctor Who left. What's going to happen?
Exactly.
That's obviously what happened.
Now, the article, fair enough, was clickbait, but people are saying that I'm putting up a clickbait. I made it clear that it was a strange article, and that's why I shared it.
No, you couldn't make it.
Anyway, thanks, by the way, for all you people giving out for the clickbait, thanks anyway for viewing it. Few quid in the bank. Thanks.
Exactly. You know
At
what?
the end of the day, I thought it was a strange article. They were talking about Stephen Moffat stepping down, but yet he's gone, and saying that it was uncertain for Jodie Whittaker's future. I just thought the article was ridiculous and it deserved to be shared. And by the way, it was written by a female journalist, and this just goes to show you, Mr. TARDIS Reviews is right about one thing when he had his little rant about the media. Some of them are, you can see, right? You've got the shilling ones, and then you've got the ones that they'll hate it no matter bloody what. But there is no balance. There is no balance. Journalists out there. They're either on one side or the other, right? And I will agree with him on that one. But that just comes out of the fact that, you've got a new production team, a new showrunner. That's basically his whole feel of his era is basically that there's no communication with fans. Doctor Who magazine is struggling. See, listen, Chris Chibnall could save that magazine tomorrow. He could start giving them exclusives, but he won't. He'd rather let the magazine die as a big FU to fans. That's what it is. That magazine has been through thick and thin, and it's going to be taken down by this stupid bloody era of Doctor Who. It's going to be brought down by this stupid era of Doctor Who. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I'm not going to make any. Listen, I'm not going to apologize for any article I put up on this channel anymore. I'm not going to apologize for any stream. If you don't like what I have to say or the articles that I put up, there is a simple solution. Unsub. It's as simple as that. It's a democracy like that. You do have free will. You can't.
No. Make a suggestion. If you're really upset with what the TARDIS Zone is doing, if you're really upset, this is what you should really do. You should make another 10 accounts, right? Open another 10 accounts, and all of them subscribe to the TARDIS Zone, because then your voice gets more heard, because they're telling you that.
Right? Oh, I love what you're doing. I love it. I know. But no, it's absolutely ridiculous. But listen, no, I was sent that article and I read it and I was like, what am I actually reading here? It's like as if it was 3 different articles put together by this person. They're absolutely no. It's unfair to call that journalism. It's not. As someone said in the comments there, it's just basically someone half-arsed. They didn't do proper research and just threw an article together, not realizing or they meant it differently, but it came across the wrong way because obviously they didn't communicate. Like what I do sometimes when people slag me about me tweets. Oh, now you're not speaking coherent English anymore. Well, maybe that's what happened with her, right? Yeah, sometimes.
I have a third option, and this is what I think happened. She had a deadline of about 10 column inches. She needed to fill, but she also has some magic mushrooms, right? And so this combined together with a passing tweet that she heard about Stephen Moffat saying this is his last thing. As the mushrooms were just hitting, right? So she's just got the vapor trails going. So that's what the story would be, right? She wrote the story, submitted it, and then she tripped out. That's what happened. And it's quite impressive how coherent it is. Yeah. So good. Good luck. Well done there. Can I go direct you back to an earlier chat by Sadago24, who said something that I have to agree with. He said, "I still can't believe we're doing Time Lash on Saturday." I so agree with him. Like, I keep trying to do a trailer for it, and I'm like, I can't. I keep going to that. There's a bit in the making of with Paul Darrow going. It's right at the beginning saying, "Okay, once you see when I die, then you can switch off. Everything is. There's no point watching it after that." And that's got to be in the trailer. That's like what I can't disagree with him. Are we really gonna watch?
Well, you all picked. I gave you the choice, and you couldn't choose, right? And I said I didn't want to do Time Lash, and everybody said do Time Lash. And now nobody wants to do Time Lash now, so you just need to make up your mind. We still have
Vengeance on Varos. That's a good one. Okay, can I just make a pitch for Vengeance on Varos? Right, it's very, very Colin Baker. It's Colin. I think it's prime Colin Baker TV. This is Colin Baker when they didn't realize they're about to hit a brick wall. This is prime Colin Baker, prime Nicola Bryant. We're talking tight blue spandex and shorts and heels the entire episode, except when they make her up like a bird, which strangely enough makes her more sexy. I don't know how. So you got that. You got all the video violence stuff and the voyeurism, which is so much today. It's just like, it's so Colin Baker. So that's my pitch. Oh, yeah. I say, Sadaka, I will go for Two Doctors or Revelation of the Daleks, but they're both 3-parters, which are 6-parters. You know, it's that's too much. Although I think I would rather do a 3-parter than do Time Lash. I really don't want to do Time Lash. It's not a good story.
Well, you all picked the seat. Listen. We need to get more organised on this, and we have to agree very quickly. So what I'm going to do is it's as simple as this, right? Me and Rabbi on a Friday night are just going to pick the episodes from now on, and that way we can control the hashtag. What that we're going to do. We can also get the trailers will be done, everything will be done, and then we just announce to you what we're watching, and then. Okay. But what we will do is we will make sure that we pick stories, though. Yeah, but we will make sure that we pick stories that we know that most people will definitely have the DVD or it's available somewhere. We will, right? Because it's getting too messy. Because one person mentioned Time Lash, then a lot of people said, "Yeah, let's do Time Lash." Then someone mentioned another episode.
That's right.
Exactly. Someone wanted to do. First it was the 2 Doctors, then everybody said no, we're not doing the 2 Doctors, right? Because I didn't really like them, but Ballstrek liked it, right? Then it was no, let's do Time Lash. Then someone said Revelation of the Daleks. So I mean, look, because it's getting too messy, and I kind of want us to have it all sorted before the next one goes out. To see, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted while we were watching. To watch the classic one, right at the end of that, we say, right, here's the trailer for the next one.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
That's the way I wanted to do it from now on. I wanted to be as professional as possible, like, because if people come to this channel to watch them and they see that it's not being done professionally, they're not going to bother watching. You know what I mean? Right, so, listen, democracy is not dead. It's just you can't make up your mind which episodes you want. And I put a poll up before as well, and not many people voted in it. So you asked me to put up a poll.
I think we should just tell people what we're going to do. Rather, sometimes we'll ask them, but like again, Time Lash. Who's saying Time Lash is a good story? Who's that in the chat? Is that a problem? Problem being,
I'll be fair. I'll give you the opportunity right now.
Not a good story.
I'll give you the opportunity right now to pick a Colin Baker story that you can all agree on. Now, you all have to agree on. If I see different stories coming up, we're picking the one that has the most, and that's it. It's done, right? He's right. The democracy have one. So now, right now, go ahead. vote for your Colin Baker story right now.
Bad idea. Listen, we shouldn't do a democracy. We should tell them they're gonna take advantage of us again. I'm telling you. Look at those smiley faces. His problem being he's trying to kill me.
It deserves a rewatch.
No, it doesn't. I tried in the trailer. It's awful. Okay, I started looking for clips.
Right, so we've got one for Time Lash, and we've got one for Revelation of the Daleks.
The
first two that were put up, so they're the two episodes of choice. Now we've got Time Lash.
Oh, madron, disgrazia.
And Rabbi's signal is gone because he's that mad. So we've got two for Time Lash, and we got one for Revelation.
Yes, thank you, Bobby D. Fridge. Okay, Daleks. I can't believe
Time Trash 3.
Oh, Marie, thank you. Triple X.
3 all. Right, I'm going to give it another minute.
Okay, Revelations is winning. Oh, thank God. Hold
on, it could still turn on its head. It's got another minute. You do not influence this vote. That's not how you do it. Right. Revelation is 2 ahead now with 30 seconds to go.
You know what? I should really just write like an extra scene, like they do for the main watch along. Like, why not? I bet I could. What would I do? I'd have something with the people at Tranquil Repose having a chat about something. I don't know.
Well, it's 2 ahead, so I mean, if keep voting, guys. You have like 10 seconds. So in 10 seconds time, if Time Crash doesn't get, or Time Lash doesn't get 2 more votes, it's game over.
Go in Revelation.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So the decision has been made. But again, only 3 or 4 people actually took that. This is why I'm actually that's what I'm talking about, though. But there you go. The episode has been picked. It's Revelation. So there.
Road Ball stuff. That's the one. It was the guys from Star Cops. What's his name? Trevor Cooper and the other guy who later was in Age of Silver. I mean, the Age of Age of Steel, the Cybermen one. Anyway, I'm really glad we changed though. Oh, I'm really glad. I started looking through clips for Time Lash, do a trailer, and I was like, oh God, this looks awful. This looks really bad. Fine, I'm going to look it right now. I'm going to look up in this incredible reference book, which I recommend highly. If anybody's got the DVD collection, right? This is the best compendium telling you everything you need. I'm going to look up when Revelation Darks came out, and we'll see if there's already a trailer made. If there's a trailer made, I could have that online by tomorrow. So have a look.
Right. Well, I'll have to let Ballstreck know that there's been a change of plan as well.
Oh, thank God. Oh, you saved me.
Which means Ballstreck is on. I have to actually confirm if he actually is turning up on Saturday, because he is actually doing the interview with us on Sunday. So I'll just make sure before I actually say that's 100%. But it should be okay. I say he will. Hopefully. He has been very busy himself as well. You know, even though he's been silent, idiots still want to call him out on stuff, even though he hasn't been really on Twitter that much. And if anybody knows him, you know why.
Crazy. Those people are absolutely crazy. They're convinced he's like all these things. And then when you actually start asking them, they don't know what to say.
I know.
It's the weirdest thing.
And you know something? They always say the exact same. It's the exact same thing. Like as if they're reading from the script.
They're crazy.
And then they keep referencing his video. When he calls him diversity her, so that means he's racist. No, it doesn't mean.
And you explain it to them, but they don't care. They just fucking crazy. July 2005. So anyway, let's see what came out the week there.
Right, so we're at Colin Baker now. So we'll have Sylvester McCoy obviously after that. But after
we got a lot of choice.
Now,
There's a lot of good.
Sylvester McCoy now. Isn't Balstrek also going to be on Facebook's panel on Sunday?
I did hear that, yes, actually. So I don't know.
All right. Well, I hope it doesn't clash with what we're doing because
yeah, they're doing something with Starry.
Yeah, Dan actually texted me, but yeah, because I'd already texted Balstrek about that interview, so I'll have to check that out and make sure that it doesn't clash, because obviously he can only stream at a certain time as well.
Right, exactly.
Well, hopefully,
a trailer for it. But at least it's a more fun one to put together.
I knew there was
trailers on DVDs.
I knew there was something up anyway, because you'd normally have the trailer up straight away.
Oh God, because I tried to.
Because what normally happens is Rabbi and me will go off air, and then either first thing in the morning or just before he goes to bed, he will send me the trailer. Like, so when I didn't get one last week, I knew there was something up.
Yeah, I really didn't want to do it. Bottom line, I just didn't want to do it. Okay. Yeah, I'll be able to get this out by tomorrow. I'll work something out.
Can I suggest Remembrance of the Daleks for the Seventh Doctor # baseball bat?
Not bad. There's so much to choose from.
Yeah, Sylvester McCoy now is going to be interesting, because by the time I got to Sylvester McCoy, obviously I was still a kid. He was, let's just say, he wasn't a very popular doctor in their house.
Sylvester McCoy was big by me, because that's when I was like, 18? I think I was about 17, 18 when he was a doctor. And so I was getting into, pharmaceutical recreation.
Oh, yes.
And so it really worked. Getting a guy when you're 17 to a greatest show in the galaxy, really good. Really, really good.
And I'll tell you what we'll do as well, right? So Paul McGann gets a bit of a show, and so does Peter Cushing. What we'll do is one weekend, instead of doing that, we'll take a break with the New Who watch along, and we'll watch one of the Peter Cushing movies, and then we'll obviously then the next day then do the Paul McGann Doctor Who movie, and then we will do the other Peter Cushing movie as well. Don't worry about that. We most certainly.
Well, there is one other option for McGann, which I think we can get it to work. Would be his version of Sharda, which was animated. I believe I have it.
Oh,
wow. So that might be interesting, because it's I have to dig it out.
Well, then there you go. If Rabbi can find that, we'll do that as well. There you go.
But I'm really into doing the Peter Cushing one. I would like there to be like a revamp of the Peter Cushing line. That'd be good.
No, don't you start. The Peter Cushing movies are fine the way they are. The perfection. Right?
Yeah, I love. Sorry, go on.
Especially the way the writers are today, Rabbi. Could you imagine, man? It wouldn't even be the same bloody story.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I remember in was it Doctor Who magazine, they had, what was it? They did a special on the Peter Cushing movies. There was a comic strip of the Doctor of that Doctor. I really liked it. So that was good. So basically, I would like to see more of his Doctor. I'm just looking through my files right now, see if I have that version of Sharda. That's the 2017 one.
Rabbi goes into his secret
vault
on his laptop. I said, Rabbi goes into his secret vault on his laptop. That's one thing that he won't forget when he's on his planet.
Oh yes, my planet. The Doctor. What is the Doctor Who version of Riser? That's the question.
Yeah.
Where would that be? We must have seen something like that. A bit sweatier. Well, I don't see that. I have to go through some discs. See if I can find it. Neither Doctor's not bad, but it's too quick. That's the problem. Regarding
Night of the Doctor, don't worry, Derek. We will do Night of the Doctor as well. I know it's only a few minutes long, but we will.
Yeah, okay.
We might do that after the movie.
Or do it before? Yeah, well, after the
before the movie. I don't know. I don't know where that fits in. Jesus Christ, we'll just fucking do it anyway.
Right. No, but I do enjoy the Peter Cushing movies. I haven't seen them for a while. Oh, I'm just standing up. Oh, that's so much better.
Right, I'm gonna leave you, Rabbi. I'm gonna leave them in your capable hands for about 5 minutes. We have to do something real quick, right? I'll be back with you.
No problem. Just trying to think. I put out a guide today on the Seventh Doctor with Big Finish, but okay. Here's where I'm struggling. I wanted to do a guide on like the non-Doctor Who. But there's too many of them. That's really the truth. There's just too many of them. So I'm trying to work out how to break it down. There's the H.G. Wells ones, but do I put on all the Big Finish classics in that one go? And then you've got this thing called spoken word things called textbook stuff. Have you guys ever heard that? They got like 3 releases of horror stories. One's is it 3 or 4? But they've got some fantastic narrators. One's got Andrew Sachs. The other one's John Sessions doing Edgar Allan Poe's stories is David Soul. He's really good. He's really good with it. But then they got so I don't. If I put them all in together, then there's the other like Big Finish originals. It's actually very hard to break down them. Break down how you break them up to do a guide. I think should I do like the Dalek Empire stuff separately? Dalek Empire, I think, deserves a bit of a. I think it deserves a video in of itself and it actually deserves a bit of a revisit. And the chat, have you guys heard Dalek Empire Big Finish? The Hammer ones. Which Hammer ones are we talking about? The Peter Cushing movies? Colin B. Smith? I guess we'll find out in a second. Dalek Nights of Doctor as a preamble to Day of the Doctor. Yeah, I think it makes more sense to put that right before the Day of the Doctor rather at the... Because there's like you got his entire life to go through, and he missed. We see on Big Finish. There's quite a few options. Is Rabbi's Vault got Missy in it? No. my wife would not be happy. Are you talking about my vault, the TARDIS? Yeah, no, it doesn't have Missy. Oh, you're back?
I'm back, buddy. What are you talking about? Sorry.
I was trying to work out how to break up I'm doing my Big Finish guides, right?
Yeah.
The non-Doctor Who stuff is really hard to break up.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of it, and it's so much difference. I think maybe I'll do the Dalek Empire stuff as one. Have you ever heard the Dalek Empire releases?
No, I haven't. No, personally. No.
They're really good. I think they're cheap as well.
See, again, Big Finish was another thing that kind of eluded me as a kid. I didn't even know Big Finish even existed until I was an adult.
It didn't exist.
Living in Ireland, as I said yourself, we did have the English stations. Like we had BBC One, and then when BBC Two came along, we had that ITV Channel 4. But the thing about it is, in Ireland, very particular what you watched, especially when it came to British TV. So comedy shows were very big in Ireland. variety game shows, stuff like that. And Doctor Who was probably one of the very few programs that Irish people would watch. I mean, for the first ever a few years back, they actually showed Doctor Who on an Irish TV station. That would never have happened back in their day. To watch Doctor Who, we had to watch it on British television. So Big Finish, as a kid, I wasn't aware. My dad was a fan of the show, but he wasn't a fan of
the Big Finish only came about started in 2000.
I didn't know about Big Finish. Seriously, because I was obviously 2005, as I told you, all. I found out Doctor Who was coming back. After the late 80s, after Doctor Who finished, I basically gave up. I've never made any qualms about that. I told people from the start, I left Doctor Who.
Oh no. No, never did.
And now I'm back.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was in Doctor Who right the way through the hiatus. So I was big into the Bill Baggs movies. Bill Baggs video. No, he did movies at first, like episodes.
In the 90s, I was a teenager, so in the 90s, I was too busy, like yourself, taking recreational medicines and drinking and plenty of alcohol and. Well, the women.
Chris Peters said, would Angolas be the closest thing to Rise that we've seen in Doctor Who? Probably, but I would want to go to the dirtier part of Angolas, right? There's got to be kind of a seedy backwater part of it. That's where I want to go to. Yeah, that would be my plan. So I think have I done the Tom Baker ones? I thought I'd done. No, I haven't done Tom Baker ones.
Oh man, do you ever get some food you're looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Right? You cook it. It looks absolutely amazing when you buy it, and then when you eat it, it's the biggest disappointment you've ever had.
Oh,
oh man, we're at to getting these 2 homemade pizzas. So I got a barbecue chicken, right? It's freshly made, right? Freshly made it is, right? And the bloody thing was awful. Awful. I'm actually throwing out a pizza. I never throw out even a frozen bloody pizza, let alone a freshly made pizza. It was disgusting. Disgusting.
All right.
Well, yeah, in the late 90s, early 2000s, I didn't give it. I was in a bad place, so I wasn't paying attention. I didn't even know Big Finish existed until actually the show came back in 2005, and that's when I was made aware of it. But then I wasn't really interested because it was the show that I always wanted to come back. So for me, if it wasn't the show, I never recognized any of these other things as Doctor Who, to be quite honest with you. I just thought you were, little spin-offs, but they don't count. But obviously, I
was big into it. Then in '91, I left England. So so from '91 to 96, I was in Israel. I was in rabbinical school.
Where have you lived? Where have you been? Where have you've been in America?
Yeah. Okay. So I was born in England. We were born. I lived in where was it? Mill Hill, and then we moved to and then when I was 19, I ended up in Israel. I stayed there for about 6 years. I got married. Then I was in Israel for another 6 months after I was married. We moved to Boston for about 6 to 8 months. That was awful. We didn't like it at all. And then we went to Miami. We were in Miami for a long time, 10 years, about 9 years, and then we moved back to Israel. We were in a place called Beit Shemesh for a year and a half, and now we've been here for since 2007.
Right.
Quite 2007, I think. So yeah, a fair amount of time.
So, any plans to move again, or is that it?
No, we're getting the entire. We're getting all this work done, having the floors ripped up. So yeah.
So
Oh
you're
my
there
god,
for
my
the long
bathroom
haul.
is incredible. I hate to. Oh, a couple of things. First, my kitchen's going to have an island in it, and somehow my wife let us choose the color TARDIS blue for the island. So I'm quite happy about that. I'm
Wow.
trying to get a TARDIS like that TARDIS plate to go on one of the little square things. You know, on the the square things that you go on in the indoors. But not sure she'll go that far. But yeah, it's gonna look nice.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, when you find it, when I suppose when you find the right place and you know that you're gonna end up, you're gonna stay here, you know,
Yeah. No,
you're better off. Yeah, if the place needs to be done, you're better off doing it up all right because you know.
yeah, I am definitely quite happy dying here. But what is going on in the world of Doctor Who? Everything seems sort of like quieting down for a
Yeah,
bit.
everything has quieted down. There is the odd article being thrown up all right by Screen Rant, Digital Spy, your usuals. Actually, I do
Yeah,
want to talk about one particular article. One article actually called, it was by, I think I have to be sure now, I think it was either Screen Rant or Digital Spy, and it was about Martha Jones basically being a gateway companion. Now, I want to actually bring that up for a little bit because I thought that the piece itself was a pile of crap anyway, but to call Martha Jones a gateway companion, I don't know where you're getting that from. Now he did in the same article bring up that viewers on screen found it very uncomfortable the way the Doctor was treating Martha. I'd say uncomfortable is a strong word. It is. Don't get me wrong. Even I said I didn't like his behaviour towards her, but it was understandable because the man was grieving. And if you ask me, he totally made up for it uh, in the season to come. Anyway, Martha Jones also saved the Doctor, if I remember. I'm just trying to count off the top of my head, but we could say she definitely saved the Doctor 3 times anyway. And remember, her whole family was actually taken prisoner and she was walking the whole earth for a whole year, spreading the word of the Doctor. Right. So she was, and she featured in Series 4 as well, and then went on to be on Torchwood as Martha Jones. So Martha Jones was neither a gateway companion, a token companion, or whatever you want to call her, between Billy Piper and Catherine Tate. It's
are they saying it's a gateway companion for Doctor Who having black people in it? Really? Is that
no, it's a gateway companion as it Martha wasn't a real companion. She was just a gateway between Rose and Donna. I want to make that clear. It wasn't nothing to do with race.
Why would they say of course she was. She traveled. She was with him for a whole season.
I know, but apparently because he kept stringing her along. Yeah, he did. We all know that, and it was not nice to see. But we understood it because he was more than. I use people that thick that you can't understand human emotion.
They are that thick. They are that thick. That's the answer. They are that thick. Oh, speaking of being that thick, I was just looking on Radio Times. They have a new article up. Doctor Who and BBC Studios releases free educational resources for kids. So it's they're based on 4 stories that they're going to use to help to educate children.
On what subjects though?
Oh, you'll guess it when I tell you the stories. It's not too subtle. Arachnids in the UK.
No.
Nikolai Tesla's Night of Terror, Demons of the Punjab, and Rosa.
No, Jesus Christ!
I mean, like, what do you think? The guy, like, do you think I trust Chris Chibnall to educate me about history? Say, okay, this man yeah. How hard is it to make Doctor Who? Really? I mean, you've had a lot of people make it before you. You've had a lot of people. A lot of writers who are bankable writers. You've had everything was set up, everything was working. It had a bit of a wobble under Capaldi. People wanted a younger Doctor. The woman Doctor might have even worked, but instead you said, "Oh, let's just reinvent the wheel," and they reinvented it and they made it shit. So I'm gonna trust him to teach me about history. Like what? The man who couldn't work out that the timeless children would not go down too well. Like he really thought everyone's gonna love it, right? And I'm gonna trust him to teach me about history, where apparently everybody in the South in 1950s hated, was a massive racist. That's not true. I'm sorry. If we can see nuance about people you like seeing nuance for, they're happy to see nuance about people looting, right? They're always going to say, it's okay. Or Muslims, they're like saying, oh, well, they're not all, it's like they're only a small minority are these, which everybody agrees that, anyway. They can say, but they can't see nuance in people they don't like. If their skin's white, they can't see any nuance. And Arachnids in the UK, so it's like the worst, like really the worst episode ever, with the most cloying, like that Trump, like everything about it is bad. Nothing about it is good, and these are 4 stories you can use to educate people about how terrible this Doctor Who has been.
Comingsoon.net has an article. They're obviously very slow on the uptake because they say Doctor Who's next annual holiday episode has already been filmed. Yeah, we spoke about that last year. That's actually a non-starter news right there, and we already know that the Daleks are going to be in it. Also, rumored quite heavily and more than likely. We could say with 98% certain that Davros is going to make an appearance and Captain Jack is going to make an appearance anyway.
I didn't hear about
that. Stephen, but I've noticed these articles, right? I've been looking at about Stephen Moffat finally saying he's done with Doctor Who. And it's kind of like, if you look at the articles and you read between the lines, it's like as if these people are saying, well, that's it. The best the Doctor Who has done now, basically.
They are kind of saying that, aren't they?
Yeah. And
they're like, really?
Said that he ran out of ideas, that he's stale. Well, he clearly has shown that he hasn't. And whether he's taking the piss out of RTD or not, I don't know. I'm not quite so sure now, to be honest, but I hope it is. But he clearly does have ideas. He clearly still, he's not gone stale. He's had a few years off already. And the fact that Chris Chibnall and Moffat has openly come out and said it, that Chris Chibnall asked him to come back and write the very first short webisode that we got, just goes to show you that Chris Chibnall. Listen, I know the other side will say, well, he's writing the series right now, so he hasn't got time for this nonsense.
Please. He has no idea what he's doing. So he can't
write a little short story now. He can't take it out. Look at Stephen Moffat is able to roll them off like that, whether we like him or not, right? Or whether we like he's writing right now or not, he's still able to roll them off like that. I'm sorry, there is no excuse for the current showrunner not to be involved in these a lot more than what he was. And I don't care. Moffat could come out and praise and say, well, it was all his idea, Emily Cook's idea and all this crap. I don't buy it for 1 second. Emily Cook came up with it. The rest of them latched onto it. Simple as that. That's what it was. And it was used as an agenda piece to further bleed certain agendas in this fandom. Because if you look at them, you look at all the artists that were involved in it and all this other writers and all involved in it, there was definitely an agenda behind them. Except for the last few, when it was actually called out, all of a sudden then men were taking part in the last few and doing the animation and stuff like that. So get away. It was clear. I'm glad the lockdown is over. I'm glad, because we would have got more of that bullshit, and they probably would have used more little mini stories that actually justify breaking bloody canon. Right? Because some of
they really could have just like shut up and let it and give us a break with it.
That's it. I will say lockdowns. I will say to Emily, lockdowns at the start were a great idea. Brilliant. There was goodwill created. But then when it started, I'll tell you when it started to change. Well, there already was an agenda behind it. But we didn't notice it. And the reason why we didn't notice it, because there was so much goodwill going, right?
Yeah.
So Paul Cornell came in and said what he said, everybody noticed the shit that was going on. And I noticed it then, and I was telling you now, I'm delighted they're finished. But if you do miss watching New Who, and you do miss the tweet alongs, and you do miss the classic Who, because they never did any, the TARDIS Zone official YouTube channel, along with Rabbi and other guests, will be doing watch-alongs of New Who and classic Who for this foreseeable future anyway, until you guys say to me, no, enough now, we've watched them too many times now.
Yeah, say that. Okay, they won't say it because we will never say that.
Yeah, so they'll be here, so don't worry. But look, I'm looking at all these articles. Here's another one from Screamer and Doctor Who 4 hours ago. 5 reasons why Clara should have ended up with Danny.
Yeah.
See, they're really scraping the barrel for stories.
I know.
Let me see. Casting news. Doctor Who actress Monique Gill to co-star in interactive rom-com.
Okay.
Wow, she's actually going to do a rom-com. I didn't think she had that acting ability because she acts like a plank all the time.
She doesn't.
Well, there you go. She's got to be in something there. Rom-com. It's called 5 Dates. It's a rom-com project which will be released globally on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and Steam. Doing it on all the gaming places. That's okay. It's going to pop up on my bleeding PlayStation now. Oh, for feck's sake. Can't even escape her on my PlayStation. Look, she's one of the worst actresses I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying a lot because we've already got one of the worst actresses playing the lead role. I don't know how you could cast 2 of the worst actresses of all time in the same TV show. It's beyond me. It's beyond me. And I'm sorry, she's been given, I will say one thing and I will defend Monique to a certain extent, right? She hasn't been given any material whatsoever that's decent.
That is true, isn't it?
The show, any of her acting ability.
Insanely in love with Jodie, makes you want to vomit.
Well, the thing about it is, even with material, I don't see her being any good. I have watched other stuff that she's been in because I wanted to go back and actually see what her acting was actually like. And I have, and I'm not impressed. I've never been impressed. I'm not impressed by Jodie Whittaker's acting either. And for all those saying that she was great in Broadchurch, well, it's not very hard to play a grieving mother.
Oh, yeah, you have to move around a bit.
I'm sorry, you could get any generic actress to play a grieving mother and they could pull it off. They do it in soaps every day of the week when they have real heartbreaking stories on soaps. You see grieving mothers or you see relationships in turmoil and you see how it's done. Right? They can act it, right? And you believe it. If she was the actor, you wouldn't believe it. Listen, apparently she was bullied, right? But you wouldn't know by her that she was bullied.
Yeah.
There was no context given except a little scene that we were meant to believe that she was bullied for all these years. Right. And then they made it out that she was bullied because of her skin color, right? I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It does happen. Of course it does. But we didn't see any, you know what I mean? Just a throwaway line like that to rhyme behind the skips. Oh, it was called this, that, and the other because I'm a cop, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's not enough. And then having a conversation with a cop in the middle of the road is not enough to let us know that she's been bullied for a very long time. Just like it's the same with Ryan Sinclair. He's supposed to have a disability, but it doesn't feature enough for me to actually, and a lot of other people. And by the way, I know people that actually, because my wife obviously knows what that disability is like. And I can tell you for one thing, I've seen it firsthand. Absolutely disgraceful the way he has portrayed that. And you know what? People even with it have come out and praised it. And the only reason why they come out and praise it is the fact that he mentions the fact that he has this. And to them, that's probably exactly, it's lip service probably. And they're happy with just lip service. Whereas for us, if you're going to do something like that, well, I'm sorry, you need to develop it. You need to build it up. You need to, you know what I mean? You've got to show it how it affects everyday life, not in a scene here and a scene there. You know, he's with the doctor all the time. He's going to be clumsy all the time. You know, it's a thing that happens. Trust me, right? When Cheryl first came over here and we were walking down the road, we'd be crossing the road, but she'd keep walking or she'd walk into stuff. This is the reality of it. Right, coordination's all over the place. There's no way he'd be picking up guns and doing Call of Duty and picking up bombs and playing basketball the way he's been playing basketball. That is not, right. It's an absolute disgrace. The same when he brings in LGBTQ plus characters as well. It's the same thing. Brings on a gay man, shoots him off after 20 bloody seconds. It's all lip service. Right? He doesn't do these topics with any sensitivity for starters, and he doesn't do them justice. He doesn't do them justice. It's weak and it's pathetic. All right.
Yeah.
And then we get people
I
defending.
can't disagree with anything.
They will, because once you know what I mean. Because the way they look at it is, oh well, he put representation in there, but sorry,
Oh,
you mightn't like it, you mightn't like the terms, but it's box ticking and diversity hiring, and that ain't racist. And I can tell you now that the people that use that term, I know some of them personally that use gobshites have been attacking, and I can tell you now, there's not a racist bone in their bloody body, right? It's exactly what it is. And for someone like Guy Lambert to come and call me a racist because I actually said that, well, I told him to go where to go anyway, as you all saying anyway. I don't give a flying fuck who you are. You're not going to come and call me a racist because I have a different opinion to you, right? It's not me being racist. It's me actually caring that that people are represented properly in Doctor Who, and are not just a token role or a box ticking or a diversity hire. They are actually given proper characters and proper development, and characters that we can actually get behind and grow to love. Right? That's all we've ever been always about. And decent Doctor Who sci-fi fucking stories with a few bug-eyed monsters and whatever the crap issue you want to fucking highlight, but you put the story first. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not actually hard. But for you, it seems to be. So do the right thing and just resign. Just resign. Do the right thing and resign. And because you're never going to fix this mess. You have destroyed it. And for Mr. TARDIS reviews, I'll just say to you, listen, you might go and slay YouTubers, but the fact is this, that 50, we'll say 52. I'll be generous. 52% of this audience have walked away. It got the lowest ratings since the late 80s. Yeah, the Doctor Who magazine is struggling, right? You see now with all the licensees that are bringing out other doctors than Jodie Whittaker because she doesn't sell. You will see recently with HBO Max the fact that they didn't include Jodie Whittaker in the poster, even though they are showing her era. Okay, anything they put her face on loses money. Merchandise sales are down. Now you say we provide no evidence for this whatsoever, but it's easy to actually Google it. But you're all too lazy to do your own research and just come back with your own stupid little agenda and stupid little same thing read off of him. Every single one of you say the same things. They're getting old. These arguments are pathetic. They actually have no foundations anymore. They've all crumbled. The evidence is out there. Okay, Doctor Who Origins trailer. I still have people telling me, but that's all trolls. No, it's not. Get through your skulls.
Speaking of all crumbling, I've been trying to get your attention. I've been trying to tell you I needed to go to the bathroom for about the last 15 minutes. Right now, my buttocks are trembling.
Right, go. I'll wait for you. Go on.
So I'm going to go. This might be a big one. Whatever you hear, don't come and try to rescue me. I'm quite happy.
No problem. You go ahead. I'll keep down the bottom.
I'll take it for the team.
Yeah, go on. You go on. You do what you have to
do. Night, really looking forward to. I'm hopefully looking forward to your you talking with Az tomorrow. I normally go on at 5, so I'm just going to schedule to end at 6. If I see you're not coming on, I'll go a bit later. If I see you coming on at 6, I'll end and I'll work as the warm up for you. Okay?
No problem. No problem.
Okay, fine. I'm going to say good night.
Good night,
everybody.
And that was the rabbi. But again, the evidence is all out there. It's not trolls. It's actually the public and the fans showing their displeasure. Actually, if you look at most of the articles by the end of the series, especially after the Timeless Children, and you go into the ones that actually allow you to go in and look at the comment section. Now, I did notice a couple of weeks after, or a couple of days after, they stopped showing the comment sections of most of these newspapers, because you used to be able to go in or you used to screenshot them and put them on the channel and actually show you. Now they've actually made it harder for you to actually see the comments. But if you see them, the majority of them were, some are from fans, but the majority of them were from the British public that watch Doctor Who casually and that actually still know their stuff. They know enough about the show, and you should have seen them, when these journalists were trying to justify this, and they were saying how much you're being paid by the BBC. People were writing up cancel the TV license. There was loads of that, and then there was people then basically talking about the history of the show and basically saying it was another disgrace. They used to watch it with their father, they used to watch it with their kids, and now their kids have kids have no interest in it. It's actually sad that you can't sit down with the grandkids and the kids and watch Doctor Who anymore because they just feel like it's not Doctor Who anymore. And there's loads of other comments as well. You could see the older fans during mourning. You can see a lot of angry fans demanding that Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker be fired. Listen, I don't care what anybody says out there. You can call me sexist all you want. Jodie Whittaker was wrong for the role, full stop. They should never have cast a woman as the Doctor. The Doctor is a male lead role. End of the story, right? The experiment has failed. It's as simple as that. And to be quite honest with you, even if they were to go with another female Doctor again, I think Jodie Whittaker has probably ruined it. But I will add this, with this current madness that's going on, don't be surprised if Joe Martin is cast as the Doctor, because right now everybody has gone crazy, right? I mean, Gone with the Wind has been taken down by HBO Max, and as we have seen, they are trying to erase the past. So don't be surprised, because everybody will want to show that they're not racist. And in fairness, I think Doctor Who, especially during series 11 and 12 anyway, wouldn't be criticised as much, because if you look at the cast compared to previous years, they definitely did up the diversity in Doctor Who. So it could be okay, but they might actually just, because as I said, the current madness, they might actually just give it to Joe Martin anyway. And this would give Chris Chibnall a bit of a buyout as well, because a lot of fans have speculated that she actually is a future Doctor, and maybe she is the Doctor after Jodie Whittaker. So I don't know. I think they might go down that route because of the current madness. As you can see what's going on, people are apologizing for TV shows that they did 20 years ago. We've got it's just madness. Where does it stop? Listen, this is not sorting out the issue though, is it? Like, the issue is still not being solved, which is the issue of racism. It's still not being solved. Taking movies down, or TV shows down, or people apologizing for movies and TV shows is not solving the problem. Solving the problem is sitting down and trying to work out some sort of framework where we can all live in harmony together. It's as simple as that. And then we can look at all that other stuff. It's like as if we're jumping 20 steps ahead without actually dealing with the issue at hand, which is racism. And I've also noticed as well, and I have to point this out, that because there is turmoil happening in America, there's some Americans out there that think that they can tell people like me that don't live in America that we don't know what we're talking about. Well, if you think racism is only exclusive to America, well, then you clearly have your head buried in the sand. Racism is rife all over the world. Right now, yes, in America, it's being highlighted, but there is a problem with racism around the world. So we all want the world to be a better place, including the United States of America. So those Americans that are telling people to mind your own business, you haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Well, firstly, I'm Irish, so we have a history of being oppressed. I do know where you're coming from. Also, this has hit home a lot closer because obviously my wife is American and she's seeing what's going on in the world. So don't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about or I do not have a right to say anything about racism, because I do. Racism is rife around the whole world. It's not just exclusive to America. Yes, right now America is the focus, but as I said, it's a worldwide issue. So sit down and sort the issue out first, right? And as I said, build some sort of framework so you can all sit down, have dialogue, sort out all the issues that are at hand so we can move forward, and then we can look at the rest of the stuff then and decide what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate. But right now, that's not the way we should be going, right? But as I said, we always say with every big thing that happens, we jump 20 steps ahead without actually dealing with the issue, or we sweep it under the carpet. Deal with the issue of racism, and then we can then move forward. It's as simple as that. It is. It's as simple as that. It's not even. It's not even hard. It's not. If there's a will, it'll be sorted. You know what I mean? And right now, I can see that there is a will. So sort it out. Sort it out. Sit down. Talk. Because the whole world is facing this. We've seen it. Daniel, if Daniel's here in the chat, he will tell you we've had incidents over the last 2 years, especially in the English game and the Scottish game, where black players have been subjected to monkey chants and racism. A Manchester United player was also the team that I support last year. Only a Manchester City player did a monkey gesture in front of a black Manchester United player. So this is all I'm just trying to say is that racism is not exclusive to the United States of America. And you need to take these our heads out of these our asses and realize that it's a global issue as well. And, once America then sorts out, then the rest of the world always looks to America anyway. So we're waiting to see what you guys do, because the rest of the world is starting now. I mean, I've seen there's big cases in England now where cops are being beaten up. You know what I mean? It's getting out of hand. So sit down, sort out the issues so we can move forward. 2020, we shouldn't really have any issues like that anyway. We should be all living together in harmony. There shouldn't be any threats of war. There shouldn't be any hunger. There shouldn't, you know what I mean? There shouldn't be any kids left without education, a roof over their heads. There shouldn't be any homeless people. There's a lot of issues that we still have to sort out. You know what I mean? The world isn't perfect, but this is the biggest one now, right now. Homelessness, racism. There's a lot of that. We just need to look. We went through 2 world wars. The world was in turmoil. We don't need another world like that. We need to move forward now. We need to put the past behind us. And this is what's happening. You've got gobshites now dragging up the past all the time. Yeah, you drag up the past when you're sitting down talking about the issues, but that's up to the people that are in charge of talking about all it is. The people that actually count as well, that matter. They're the ones that can educate and talk to us about the issues that they have. I don't know. If I was world leader, trust me, I'd have peace around the world. There wouldn't be any hunger, famine, war. There'd be nothing. It'd be just the earth would be a nice place to live. They want to erase British history. Yeah, well, we won't get into all of that because, while I don't agree that British history should be erased, I think British people have to acknowledge that the British Empire in itself was racist, and the Irish people know that firsthand. I don't think it should be forgotten, but we have moved on. The 2 people, Ireland and English people, we have moved on. Our countries should be the example on how you can move on, especially the north of Ireland. I use that as an example of how you can have peace. Every country has a dark side anyway, including Ireland. So we're not all innocent here. But if we all start dragging up the past and, you know, and trying to erase history. History is history. We learn from it, don't we? We learn from our mistakes, you know, and we have, you know, and we're always going to make mistakes along the way. But once we learn from those mistakes, then we can get somewhere. I've not. Look at. I love the UK. Right, I love the people. The people are absolutely fantastic. It's the establishment I've never liked. But you know, who does like the establishment of any of their countries? We don't. None of us do. And there's Gary. 2 billion live in poverty. There shouldn't be 2 billion people living in poverty today. There's plenty of food. Corruption is another big problem. I mean, how much money has been pumped into helping Africa? Seriously, think about it. How much money has actually been pumped into that country to get that country out of famine, to get the country out of poverty, to provide clean water, schools, and it still isn't fixed? Corruption. You want to know where the money goes? Corruption. It always goes into the wrong hands. Wrong hands. This is why when you see these people with the folders on the street and all thinking that they've got the moral high ground because, you know, they're out there campaigning and trying to get you to give them the money. I'd be like, no. Why should I give you money so the CEO can go around driving a big bloody Jeep or a Mercedes or whatever, a Porsche, and has a big gaff and then can go away on a... If it's a charity, right, no CEO should be getting paid. No employee should be getting paid. It should be volunteer all the way up. 100% of the proceeds should be going to these causes, but they don't. And they haven't been for decades. Yeah, a lot of the Irish fought side by side with the English. Unfortunately, when they did come home to Ireland, some of them, they were classed as traitors. Only up until recently, a few years back then, there was something put in place that, you know, because, yeah. But that's just the way Ireland was back then. Look, and we all have a history. You can't erase history. You learn from it. I mean, if you're going to... I mean, so Critical Drinker put up a post where he says, well, I want you to remove such and such because it's racist and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, he was taking the piss because obviously HBO took down Gone with the Wind. And I says, well, I want the Germans removed for the Nazis because they were the biggest racists in the world. But it's not the German people. It's not the German people's fault that are living in Germany today. That was their past. And German people are ashamed of their past. So, you know what I mean? Are we going to start digging up old conflicts as well? Like World War Area? See, this is what I'm talking about. We're not actually sorting out the issue. We're deflecting, and we seem to deflect a lot. This issue with racism is not going to be sorted out. I'm telling you now. It's just like everything else. It's never sorted out because everybody keeps deflecting, and not actually talking about the issue at fucking hand. Oh, Jesus, if I had became a politician. Ooh. And that was one of me first. Well, it wasn't me first dream. I wanted to be an astronaut, but then being Irish and being an astronaut, I don't think would have mixed, you know. because, you know, if it was part of the space program, they would have made a gimmick out of it or something and set me up Space Guinness or something, or a leprechaun costume. And that's another thing as well I will actually say when people say, oh, you're Irish, you don't know anything about racism. Well, when you call me a paddy or you use a term like that other than my name, yeah, to describe me, right? Or you call me Paddy or Irish or whatever. That's racist. But I don't make a bitch and song and dance about. I've also been called a potato. Actually, I think one of the YouTubers, which I should bring up because they're all about Black Lives Matter, but one of you called me an Irish potato. That's racist. You're singling me out because of my nationality. So, you know, again, hypocrite. Well, no, why am I surprised anyway? You big bleeding idiot. So you know what I mean? Again, racism is rife around the world. It's not just, again though, it's not just racism exclusive to America, but right now America is where we seem to be having all of the movements and the protests, obviously because of what happened, George Floyd. And another thing, people bringing up his criminal record. Who gives a flying fuck if that man had a criminal record the size of my arm? He wasn't a criminal at the time when a police officer put their fucking knee on his neck. So shut the fuck up. I'm sick of that as well. Right? Just sort out, lock those cops up, yeah, and sit down as a fucking country, sit down as leaders, whatever, and sort out the issue of racism and stop deflecting. Right, I've said enough about that anyway. I'm done. And you know, hopefully the politicians, the people that need to be heard are heard, and we finally sort out our issues. And we should. It's 2020. You know, we're living in a time now where, you know, people can identify as bloody plants, for God's sake. You know, so if we can let people identify whatever they want, surely we can sort out the rest of the issues we have. I know there's a lot of frustration right now at the moment. There's a lot of people gone crazy, saying mad, crazy things as well. But hopefully common sense will prevail. Right, listen. Hopefully I'm back tomorrow with Az. There you go. I got it right there that time. Hopefully tomorrow Az will be here. And if he is, obviously, you know what you are in for anyway. It'll be a real treat for me. Huge fan, myself and Cheryl. We love watching these videos, as I said. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's stream. We didn't know what really to talk about tonight, so we just spoke about different things. But I think it's very relevant. And I will say one final thing. Right, because, you know, I have also seen, because there's certain people out there that are using a certain hashtag, you're being criticized if you don't use a certain hashtag. Well, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to make it plain and simple for you all. Hashtags don't save lives. Hashtags will not actually solve the issue at hand. So just because you use a hashtag doesn't give you the moral high ground. If you actually want to make a difference, go out there and demand that your politicians make that difference, so we can live in a society where everybody is free from any sort of prejudice or form of racism. It's as simple as that. And before you leave, as Chris has said, don't forget to hit that smash. Don't forget to hit that smash like button. Jesus, that's what I was gonna say. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We're near, I think we're on 1,500 and we're coming up to the 60 subscribers now. So thank you everybody that has subscribed in the last couple of days. I really appreciate it. Well, look, I think I've made it very clear where I stand on the issue. So especially for all you little twats on Twitter that were calling me out and saying that I was racist, I have told you to actually look at me streams that I have been putting up the last couple of weeks anyway. I've always mentioned something about it. But as I said, unlike you, virtual signaling and twats, hashtags aren't going to solve the issue. Actually getting out there and demanding that the politicians do something and the people that actually need to be listened to are listened to, so we can all, as I said, live together in harmony. And you know what? That might seem like a pipe dream or a wet dream to some, right? It's never gonna happen. I believe that we are capable of great things as a species. The human race, yes, we have done some terrible things in their past, but look at all the achievements. Look at all the things that we have done. We have done some truly magnificent things. We really have, and we've done some truly despicable things. But we have done some really amazing things, and we can strive to be greater than what we are. I honestly believe that. So that's where I stand on it anyway. Sorry, brother Noel, this stream I feel neutral for. I will see you tomorrow. No problem. Listen, I just wanted to get me a word out there because I'm not. I don't believe, as I said, hashtags will solve the problem. That's just where I am on it all. I'm not trying, you know. At the end of the day, we all know that there's problems out there, but there's some people out there that think they're better than others all of a sudden, and yous aren't. Yous are still pieces of shit. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of, this is what annoys me. They're still pieces of shit. These people that are virtual signaling and all over the place. Oh, look at me! Look at me, and look how many black friends I have. You didn't give a shit for years, did you? Because if you gave a shit, we wouldn't be here now. So shut up, hypocrites. If you actually want to make change, do something about it. And with that, I'm going to say good night to you all. Thank you all for joining me. Chris, thank you. Daniel, all the other moderators, thank you very much. Derek in the chat, welcome and thank you. Because Derek set up a few guests for me last week. I really appreciate that, mate. That was a wonderful thing that you did for the channel. And everybody else in the chat as well. And listen, I know this isn't a stream that most of you would think that I'll do, but I just wanted to get it out there anyway, because at the end of the day, I'm sick of being accused of being a racist. But if they actually had to listen to me streams in the first fucking place, they'd see that I actually am, because I've been the one that has, I'm not even going to get into it. Listen, I don't even need to justify myself anyway, but it's nice to get it out there anyway, because if these idiots come at me now, I'll just share this stream. Yeah, just listen to this. Right, simple as that. Problem being, good night. Right, everybody, good night. I will talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully, Az can come on. If he doesn't, I might still just stream fires just to make up for the fact that it hasn't, but obviously it'll be rescheduled. So, right, I'm going to go. I'll leave you with this. Good night. Look after yourselves. Stay safe, and we will talk tomorrow. Good night.